What up? What up? What up? What up? What's up, y'all? It's Monday. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for your free homeschool coaching. If you're coming in, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you are here. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or something and let me know if you can hear me. Because for some reason, I could not hear myself. Hey, Shawanda, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Portia, thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. Bear with me again. Make sure that you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me. How about that? Because something is going on with my. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Something's going on with my speaker all of a sudden, and of course my child was on there, so we know how that goes, right? We know how that goes. But you're coming in and say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I appreciate it. Hey, Heaven's Treasure, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Portia, for the thumbs up, and Heaven's Treasure. I appreciate you. Y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up, y'all? Your girl cut off about 3 inches of her hair last time. Let's see. Yep, I cut off about 3 inches. My hair is now here instead of here. I don't know. It's just doing too much. Hey, Daddy. Y'all, my daddy's on there. Hey, Daddy. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, Straight Tonic, and thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. Listen, y'all, it is Monday. It is time for your free homeschool coaching. Your girl is back. This is the second week that I'm back after fighting COVID, right? And being able to win that battle. Thank you, Lord, because there's a lot of people that are not making it, right? Like there's a lot of people that aren't making it. So man, listen, I see the heart, Straight Tonic. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Kelly, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Ann, thank you so much for joining me. Listen, if you're here for a first time, do me a favor, put a 1 in the comments so I can shout you out personally. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, my name is Shaun Taylor. I go by the name of Shaun, the homeschool guru, and I am a homeschool coach that specializes in helping families transition into homeschooling. I am a homeschool coach that can pretty much help you do anything, right? I have several different services, but that's a whole nother thing, right? That's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about today is how long your school day should last, right? So do me a favor though. If in fact you are interested in those services, you can go to my website, which is shaunthehomeschoolguru.com. I have several. I have a group coaching session. I have a 15-minute discovery call. I have a hour one-on-one session. I have a free homeschool Facebook group. You guys are welcome to join, okay? So, excuse me again, shaunthehomeschoolguru.com, okay? But we're going to get right into it. I don't have time for none of that foolishness, none of that shenanigans. Hey, Heavens. Okay, we're new here. Well, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Guru Click, okay? Hey, Camille, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Sylvia, thank you so much for joining me. So listen, okay, so in my post today, we talked about, I mentioned to you that our homeschool day was done by 12 o'clock. And if your day was lasting longer than those few hours, so for us, we started, I want to say, I wake up my kids about 8:15. And then they get started anywhere between after breakfast, they get started anywhere between 8:30, 8:45 or 9 o'clock. So let's just say today that we started at 9 o'clock. And let me pull up my kids' schedule so I am not making up what they had to do today. They had a pretty much a full schedule. Let's see. Bear with me, okay? And guys, excuse me as I'm clearing my throat because as I stated before, I am just coming back from COVID. There's still a little bit of funky stuff going on there. I'm not sure, 100% sure what's going on, but I feel great, okay? So let's see. We're going to go over what we're doing, okay? So today my kids started around 8:30. Let's say that, okay? And so let's say 8:30, 9 o'clock. And by 12 o'clock, we were pretty much done with our school day. There was only one kid that was left over with one thing to do, and that was partly my fault because I didn't make sure that he was good in a situation, okay? So we started something new, did make sure he understood how to get access to it, and he moved on to it, okay? So that was partly my fault. But for the most part, we finished school at 12 today, from 8 to 12 or 8:30 to 12. So the 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 3.5 hours, we finished our entire school day. Okay. If your school day is lasting anything more than 6 hours, okay, and I'm going to stretch it and say 6 hours, then fam, you doing too much. You wearing yourself out for no reason. Like you doing way too much, okay? Hey, Kelly. Kelly says we aim for 12 p.m. too. Exactly. We don't necessarily aim for 12 p.m. And some days, there are days where my kids like halfway through the day want to take a nap, take a break. We have doctor's appointments, all that good stuff. Training, anything like that is going to cause them not to end at 12 o'clock. But on a day like this, we are able to end at 12 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much, Sylvia. It was a fight. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know where the hell it came from, but it needs to go back the hell where it came from because it was something else. Okay. Hey, Jaquithia, hashtag Guru Click. See, I tried to get in enough. You try to get in enough. Okay. And I get that. So I'm going to go over each child's schedule so you know what we worked on today. Okay. So for my 11-year-old, okay, he had a math quiz. We do a character ed. Right now, we are reading a book together as a family. It's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. So I think they read almost 10 pages because they read more than they were supposed to. They are working 30 minutes on reading comprehension. They read for 30 minutes as well. Okay. We are doing book study for history. So we read a chapter of our book and they did a worksheet that goes along with that book. Okay. So this is my 11-year-old schedule. And then we worked on ELA today and we worked on subordinating conjunctions. That's what we worked on. So we were able to do all of those subjects. So that's math, character ed, reading comprehension, history, and language arts and be done within 3 hours. That's what we did today for my 11-year-old. Okay. Now, let me go to my 15-year-old. My 15-year-old who is now earning credits. Okay. So he has freshman math. So he did a math lesson. He has character ed, the same thing that my son has. He has to read for 30 minutes. He also has reading comprehension. We do history, the book study together. So again, he has that and a worksheet. And then he also has ELA work as well. Okay. So those two, their schedule are pretty similar. Okay. Let me look at my high schooler who is a senior, right? And I'll tell you about her schedule and what we were able to do today. Okay. So she has her math class. She has the character study as well. She does reading and reading comprehension as well. She has the history and the worksheet that goes along with the history. And then she's also taking a course on psychology, intro to psychology. So she has that as well. So they all had a total of 5 different courses. Okay. And we were able to finish all 5 of those different courses within that 3.5 period. Okay. 3.5 hour period. Okay, so what I want to tell you is, and I'm not telling you this to get on you, to fuss at you, but what I'm telling you this is so that you realize that you may be doing too much. The fact of the matter is you may be doing too much, okay? We do it 2 different ways. Now, at first, we used to just do it 30 minutes per subject. So I teach, okay, blah, 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 bam, 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 write it on the board, do what I got to do, okay? That does not account as part of their time. Then they take 30 minutes and they spend on their classwork, basically their independent work. So we usually do a timer. And so you do that 30 minutes and you work all the way through, get as far as you can get in those 30 minutes. And then we move on to the next subject. Now, there are particular courses like math. We're actually using teaching textbook this year. Teaching textbook is they're doing a lesson per day. So they're not spending 30 minutes. However long it takes them to do it, they're going to spend that time doing that. So some lessons may be more difficult. And it's my job to make sure that when those lessons are taking a large amount of time, that I start to recognize that my kid is struggling on whatever it is they're learning and try to help them with that, what's going on. So I just gave you a bunch of information just in that short period of time. I'm going to stop and read the comments. You can continue to ask questions, guys. You have me for 30 or 45 minutes. Ask whatever question you want to ask. Right now, we're talking about scheduling, okay? Let's see. Ann says, I'm moving to Texas in January 2022. I will definitely need a consultation on how to earn credit for college and high school. Okay. So Ann, let me hip you to this. Listen, I do have consultations. Okay. Let me just be honest with you. I give consultations. I do appreciate when people pay me for my time. Okay. Let's just be clear. However, there's absolutely no reason for you to have a consultation with me to answer this question for you live. In Texas, we do what we want as far as homeschooling is concerned, okay? So when you transition from your state that you're currently in, follow the laws to withdraw them as far as homeschooling is concerned. Okay. Then when you move into Texas, you don't have to tell a soul that you're homeschooling. The law does not, that's not required here in Texas. So you can move to Texas, start doing your thing, and you don't have to report that to anybody. You don't have to send it to the state, the TEA. You don't have to send it to the local school district, superintendent, none of that. So just start homeschooling. As far as the college credit for high school, now I can teach you how to do that, right? But a really good book to get, and I don't have it. It's on my bookshelf somewhere. Let's see. There it is right there. Homeschooling for College Credit is a really good book to look into. But yeah, if you want to do a consultation about all like deeper, stuff, you're more than welcome to. But I'm trying to tell you, with Texas, we pretty much do what we want. As far as earning credits, as far as a transcript is concerned, if it's a high school credit, we are considered a private school in Texas, so we can do whatever we want to do. So we can say our child spent these credit hours doing this. Now, me, I want to be honest. If my child earned the credit hours, it's because they sat there and did the work. But there are some parents that don't do it that way. They just do whatever they want to do. Now, as far as college and college credits, that's a whole nother ballgame. So you can schedule a consultation, but I'm just hipping you up to some stuff. Okay, Ann? All right. Sylvia says, my little 6, and we try to do 2 subjects per day. We just moved to South Carolina and the laws are different than New Jersey. Yeah. So you have more freedom in South Carolina than you do in New Jersey. Bless your heart. Thank God for that. Because New Jersey, that East Coast is a whole nother ball game. Okay. Let's see. Straight Tonic says, do you take breaks in that 3 hours? It depends. Okay. So for my 15-year-old and my 17-year-old, they're like, no breaks. Let's get this stuff done. I want to move on with my day. Okay. So no breaks. My 11-year-old may pause in between certain subjects. And it's usually the subjects that he hates the most, like math. Okay. So what he'll do is he'll take 15 minutes and do his lesson. And then he may take 5 minutes off, goof off, do whatever it is he's got to do. And then he will, he'll come back to do the rest of his lesson. So Straight Tonic, it depends on, your child, right? There are some days too, in the midst of the day, my kids will say, like, they'll wake up at their normal time, they'll get started, and then they'll be like, Mom, I'm really tired. Can I take a break or can I take a nap? Absolutely. Go take a 45-minute nap, but then you need to come back and hit the books because you have this going on. Okay. So yeah, it depends on the family. Let me know if that answered your question, Straight Tonic. Sylvia, let me know if that answered your question as well. Okay. Ann says, okay, great. Thanks. I didn't know that. Homeschooling for College Credit. Thanks. Yes, ma'am. And it's on Amazon. It's a great book. I have given away 2 copies and kept one for myself. Finally, I made myself stop giving it away, but it is a great book. There are several different options that will show you how to earn college credit while your child is homeschooling in high school. You can do dual credit. You can do the CLEP test, which is what a lot of people do, to be very honest with you. And the CLEP is spelled CLEP. And basically, you study for a test, you go take a test and prove that you're proficient in that subject and you earn the college credit for it. Okay. So check out that book. That is an absolutely amazing resource. Okay. Hey, Kimberly, hashtag Guru Click. Sylvie, what'd I say? Probably something silly. What'd I say? Hey, Hester, thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. Alexia says, I'm in South Carolina. I have a first grader. She just turned 7 this month. We spend about an hour a day, and that's only because he thinks he knows everything. Yeah, I mean, kids are difficult in a good way, right? There are little people. They are little people is what I'm trying to say. And so it's important for us to remember that when we're educating our kids instead of trying to force them to do things. Now, there are times we're going to have to force them because we know, right, that those things are things that they're going to need. But there are times that we need to remember that they are little people and that they see things in a different way. And it doesn't always have to be done the way that we want it to be done. And I know that that can be difficult. I know that that can be hard. And I'm preaching to myself. I have an 11-year-old who is strong-willed like no one else. He's got the best part of his dad and he's got the best part of me mixed into one, that stubbornness and that strong-willed. And sometimes we go at it. And sometimes it ends up with me just saying, fine, just do whatever, in order to keep the peace. Okay. So just, you're not alone. Okay. Straight Tonic says, awesome. Perfect. Mine are 10, 9, 8, and 6. we're about 3 to 4 hours, but take breaks. I think we're good for timing. Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. Now I'm going to break it down and give you, age group about what you should be doing. But yes, 3 to 4 hours for ages 10, 9, 8, and 6 are great if you're taking breaks in between. But if you're going straight through, and I still think that's rough. Now, let me give you a caveat with all this that I'm telling you, okay? If the curriculum is, and I don't want to say it's rigor because it's not always rigorous, right? It's not always rigorous. But if the curriculum that you're using requires a lot for one subject, I'll use Abeka, okay? Abeka has a great program, especially for the elementary ages. I love it for elementary ages. But once it gets older, to me, it's just a bunch of stuff. And so you can watch like a video. For instance, my daughter did it for high school, for part of her high school time. And she was watching a like 30-minute video, and then they had like classwork that like lasted 15 or 20 minutes. Then she had homework, and that lasted like 30 to 45 minutes. And so she was spending so much time on each subject. And so that was unnecessary to me. It was like, no, don't do that. You don't need that. You don't need this. You don't need that. Hey, Deshalyn, thank you so much. Or Deshalyn, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for joining me. Kimmy says we do nap times as well here. Yeah, and it's up to you. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I'm like, you guys can go ahead and move forward, but I need a break. I'm exhausted. Hey, Cindy. Cindy says, how long should my first grader school? Okay, so let's talk about ages, okay? So if you have little kids, okay, you have toddlers, 4 years old and older, 4 years older and younger, something like that. Their school lessons should be no more than, I would say 5 minutes at a time. And when I say lesson per subject, okay, so we're talking per subject, 5 minutes of math, 5 minutes of reading or ELA, whatever, 5 minutes of history, whatever it is that you're teaching them. But at that age, they should not be spending more than 5 minutes on one subject at a time. Think about when they're kids, their minds are all over the place. They're curious about everything. You want to do lots of learning via play, circle time, all that good stuff, like lots of touchy, right? Like, let's do this. Lots of kinesthetic type activities. And that should be no more than 5 minutes per lesson. That doesn't mean that you only do 5 minutes per day, right? That means that if you do 5 minutes of math now and then you come back later and you're doing 5 minutes of math later on, it's fine. And remember, math for those ages would be the basics. So counting, and if they're able to, adding, stuff like that, okay? 1-digit adding, something like that. So from the ages of 4 and under, that toddler age, okay? As you get older and you go to that kindergarten age, up to that first-ish, second grade-ish, your child should be able to sit and do a lesson for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And so if you have to break that into big, increments, do whatever you got to do. But think about it like back in the day, and I said back in the day, but think about when you go to school and they do circle time or they do stations, right? The teachers only spend about 15 minutes on a subject. The teacher may stand there and teach. Let's talk about community service people. We're going to talk about police officers. We're going to talk about firefighters. This is what they do. Okay, color the picture. What do you think the fire truck looks like? Have you seen a fire truck? Fire truck is red, right? You find a red marker or find a red crayon and color it, okay? So they do that. And then they say, okay, let's go to centers. And you pick whatever community person that you want to go to. Somebody else is going to do this and somebody else is going to do that. So at that age, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, their lessons should be no more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time. And that's including you teaching it. Think about in traditional school system. The kindergartens are not sitting there for hours at a time. They're moving around. They're sitting on the carpet. They're going to the reading corner. They're just doing things all over the place. Okay. Now, as we get older, right? So we said second grade, right? Third, fourth, fifth, and I would say sixth grade, your child should be able to sit down, and we're doing per lesson, sit for 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes per lesson. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to hold them down for 20 to 30 minutes. But what that means is that your total time on that lesson, so you teach your lesson, they do whatever it is they need to do for 20 to 30 minutes. They should be able to do that. Now, if they need the break in between a 5-minute break, give them a 5-minute break and let them have the break and come back to it. Okay. But the way that we did it in our house when my child was younger, when the youngest one was younger, was If you want to break, you want to go kick the soccer ball around for 5 minutes, you've got to finish at least 15 minutes of work. So he would sit for 15 minutes and then he would come and he would do that. And then he'd come back and finish his other half of his 15 minutes for a total of 30. Okay, so that's all the way up to 6th grade. Okay, now 7th, 8th grade, by then they should be doing 30 to 40 minutes per lesson, per subject. Okay, by the time they're in high school, they should be doing 45 to 60 minutes per lesson. And the reason why is, again, because they are earning credits at that point. Okay, so that's just a roundabout giving you that information as far as that's concerned. Now, if you're not big on doing credits, 45 minutes may not be something, 45 to 60 minutes may not be something that you want to do. If your state does not require you to count minutes or count hours or anything like that, then you can spend 30 minutes on it. It's completely up to you, okay? Let's see. Straight Tonic says we're using Evan Moore, so it's 1 page a day. Okay, yeah, and you can do whatever works for you, okay? Let's see. Hold on, y'all. The comments are beating past me. Hold on. Okay, there we are. There we are. Okay, it says, Sylvia says, haha, I love it. We are part of a co-op that meets once a week. Okay, yeah, whatever works. Whatever works, okay? And Ann says, Clep, awesome for dropping us this knowledge. You are absolutely welcome for getting that, guys. And listen, I'm about my business. I do want to collect my money, right? But I'm not going to sit here and charge you for simple information like that. That makes absolutely no sense at all, okay? Hold on, guys. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, looks like Sylvia and Alexius are connecting together. Okay, y'all, do what y'all do, okay? Kristen says, hi, rolling in late, had to set the kids straight. LOL. Hey, Kristen, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, girl, hey. Okay, yeah, they're having a whole conversation, so let me have that conversation, okay? Let's see. Oh, I love it. Y'all are connecting, all right? Let's see. So we talked about scheduling as far as that's concerned, okay? We talked about scheduling. So we're going to go over it again, and maybe I should type it in there. So we're going to do, let's do toddler to what? What did I say? Kinder? Nope. I said pre-K. We're doing 5 minute lessons, okay? And I don't want to type that in, okay? This is live. But yeah, you don't want to spend too much time on that working as far as that's concerned. Okay. Sylvie says, what resources do you use for your curriculum, or do you do a la carte? A la carte is what I do, Sylvia. So we pull several different things. Here's the thing. Box curriculums are okay, and I'm going to be very honest with you, but we also have to remember that our children are not going to be the same level or on the same level in every subject. So in math, they may be, doing well. In science, they may be doing well, but in ELA, which is English Language Arts, they may not be doing as well, right? So you may need a 5th grade level math and a 4th grade level ELA, something like that. Let me just throw that out there, okay? And so box curriculums can be great because basically it gives you everything and then you just work with it. But for us, because I knew, like, my 11-year-old is advanced in some subjects, but then he's on his normal level in other subjects. And so it was difficult for me to purchase a box curriculum for him, because some subjects he was advanced in and it felt like he was being held back. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I am not keen on a lot of these box curriculums. And the reason why is because I am sick of what they are providing. I hate to be ugly. I'm not even going to mention any names. But what I will say is, for me, homeschooling was an issue. It was what was being taught to my kids. And I feel like some of the homeschool curriculum is behind when it comes to the same thing. So for instance, because Columbus Day just passed, let's just use Columbus Day, right? Indigenous People Day. Let me correct myself. And so the public school systems are now teaching Indigenous People Day. They're teaching that, right? Some public schools, I'm not going to speak across the United States, but some I know are teaching Indigenous People Day versus Columbus Day. Okay. However, a lot of the homeschool curriculum, a lot of the Christian homeschool curriculum still still tout. Is that what I'm trying to say? Still present Christopher Columbus as a hero and that he discovered America. I have a problem with that. I have beef with that. Okay. And so there are some curriculums that you have to be mindful of. I'm going to be very honest with you. And so that's what we're going with that. Okay. I'm not going to go any further into that. Okay. Alexia says, mention the names because I'm having the same issue. You should off the create your own curriculum again. So listen, I'm not going to mention the names because I'm going to be very honest with you right now. That's not the direction that I'm supposed to be going. I know what I'm supposed to be doing and that's not it. And I do a la carte. I write my own kids' curriculum for ELA because I'm sick of the pictures and the things that they are presenting to my kids, but also they need a little bit more one-on-one. So I do my own ELA curriculum, but I purchase other curriculum like math, science. I used elemental science for math. What else? For financial peace, we used a financial foundations in personal finance. So I do purchase a bunch of different curriculums and a bunch of different pieces and make their full curriculum. Okay. Portia says, yes, I need help finding a curriculum that can teach correct history. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. There is woke homeschooling, and there may be some others out there, but I do know of woke homeschooling. What I will tell you more than anything else, for history, the best thing for us has been a book study. Finding books to read and studying, right? Finding things and saying, we're going to study the Revolutionary War. Let's do our own research on what happened with the Revolutionary War. And I found that a couple years ago, and that I found that through Dr. Shiva. If you are unfamiliar with her, she used to teach a Black history course, and it started with Black Indians. No, we were way back in the day, the transatlantic slave trade. Then we did Black Indians, and we read the book, and we did they did a class with her, and they had homework assignments and papers to write and all that good stuff. We're currently reading Stamped, and we're doing our own book study on that. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't found a curriculum for history that I think is going to work. And so us doing our own unit studies has worked for us, to be very honest with you. Okay. Portia Henderson, exact. Okay, y'all. Let's see. What was the final the financial course? The financial course there's two different ones. It's foundations in personal finance. And there's a middle school course and there's a high school course. And that's by Dave Ramsey. If you're familiar with him at all, he does great financial education stuff. So again, foundations in personal finance. There's a middle school version and there's a high school version. If you wanted to do something for the little kids, you could do Financial Peace Junior, which is the junior version of that one. Okay. Let's see. That's what my issue is. Right now, I'm reading a certain curriculum. We're not happy with it at all. I need an ELA curriculum. I'm going to be honest with you. ELA has been rough for me right now. It has come down to me going to Teachers Pay Teacher and using the interactive notebooks. And I wish I just had, hey, son, he just left out of my office. I just had his interactive notebook. Hey, can you grab your interactive notebook for me? Yeah, and put your glasses on. Don't go through that way. No, go put your glasses on. Y'all, they be trying me. So it's an interactive notebook, and I'm gonna have him grab it for me. What I did was I printed it up and I had it bound at Staples or something like that. And we're going subject by subject in there, and I'm finding videos and worksheets and activities to go along with the ELA. But right now, the ELA curriculum is not working. Thank you. Okay, so here's a copy of it. Language interactive notebook. Okay. And so I will go on a page and it tells you basically what to do. Okay. So like this one is working on Proverbs. Is that what it is? Is that what it says? Yep. Proverbs. And it gives you the activity of what you need to do. And what I do is on the day, whatever it is that I'm teaching, I print off their work on some beautiful cardstock. Okay. So here's the cardstock. Why is my screen being funny? Some beautiful cardstock like this. And they will do the activity and do some more on here. So for instance, I think they did this one today. And so there's the cardstock they cut off. And then underneath it is their work. And I don't know why my screen is being funny. Let me look at my camera, y'all. Bear with me. Y'all, my kids mess with stuff all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to fix it. I don't know what my kids did, but something's going on with my camera and I didn't notice it beforehand. But so I do. So they did this. So they did the interactive notebook. They did the activity. And then there's sentences under here that he wrote. Okay. And here's another flap. So here's the activity that he was supposed to do. And then underneath it, there's more sentences. You can barely see it because my kids. Okay. But that's what we're using right now for ELA. And that is working. We do reading comprehension, which is separate. And then we also read 30 minutes a day. We try to make sure to read 30 minutes. Ooh, I've been his pages up. 30 minutes a day. Okay. So that's what we're doing as far as that's concerned. Okay. Bear with me, guys. The thing is moving quick. Okay. Yeah, I told you that, right? So there's Financial Peace Junior for the younger kids, elementary age. For middle school and high school, you have Foundations in Personal Finance. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, your local library is always your best source, guys. It's free all day, every day. Just take advantage of it. And here's the thing, a lot of the programs that you use, so say for instance, some libraries offer like Rosetta Stone. I told you guys that our local library has a tutoring service for free. All you have to do is sign up with the library, which is something you can use for your advantage. So say for instance, for me, I'm teaching the kids ELA and it's not working, they're not understanding, then I can get a tutor and see if the tutor can help them and do it that way. Okay. So your local library is always great. Sheena, hey Sheena, thanks for joining. She said, have you tried iExcel? So here's the thing about iExcel. iExcel is great, but what I want you to think about iExcel is a digital workbook. Okay, so it's not necessarily a curriculum. You still have to teach the lessons. You still have to instruct them, but then you have to go back. Then you can use iExcel as the worksheet. Okay, so yes, iExcel is good, but it's more so of digital worksheets versus it being actual curriculum. Okay. Foundations approach. Yes, ma'am. It's a good program. Okay. Sylvie says, I love Dave Ramsey. We do too. We've taken the Financial Peace as a married couple. We've done Financial Peace Junior, and now we're doing the Foundations in Personal Finance. Adventure Academy, I like, Sylvia. I do like it for the younger ages. So if you're unfamiliar with it, it's ABC Mouse, but it's for the upper grades, like maybe like 6th grade and maybe to 2nd grade, maybe, or 6th grade and 3rd to 6th grade, maybe. I might be speaking incorrectly, but it's for the upper elementary grades and it's good. We loved it. We had that and we loved it. Okay. Kelly says, pay no attention to my angry emojis. I hit the wrong one. Oh, you're good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me know. Portia says, was that book together already or you just put the individual sheets together? So I bought a interactive. So if you go on Teachers Pay Teacher, there are some interactive notebooks that you can find, and the teachers have created packets and then you can print it and do it. So for instance, for that one that I threw over there that I can no longer grab is 3 different interactive notebooks put together in one. And then I went and had it bounded, binded it. Y'all know what I mean. Okay. So that's what I did on that one. Hey, Tequila. Tequila says, I'm preparing myself for the homeschool journey with 3 of my 4 kids starting next year. Thank you for all your gems. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Welcome to the homeschool world. I'm going to tell you, it is the hardest job that you will ever love. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be giving up my career to do this, but I'm so glad that I did. And that's just me being very honest with you. Sylvie says, congratulations, girl. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Okay. I've been praying and getting things in order. I'm so excited. There you go. You got it. You got it. Portia says, we just went to the library and checked out a bunch of books, including Black History, Black Inventors, etc. They also showed us a link to a ton of online programs. Exactly. So your library has a bunch of information. You just have to access it. You just have to go. Ask them questions. Say flat out get to know your librarian and say, hey girl, what's up? We're a homeschooling family. What can we use? What kind of programs do you have? They'll tell you any and everything that is offered for free. All you have to have is a library card. So just Go out there and use your library, okay? Don't always think you have to purchase something. Don't always think that you have to do this big $1,000 curriculum. You don't. There's all the information that we need at our fingertips. All we have to do is click it, okay? You're welcome, Sheena. I think it starts at age 8, but my 6-year-old likes it. I use it as a yeah. You 8 maybe you may be right about 8. What grade is that, y'all? It's funny because I don't even remember what grades are what now. But yeah, you might be right. So again, we're talking about Adventure Academy, which is really good. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I think it says Willister Homeschool. I can't see, child. I have my contacts in, but I still can't see. Bear with me. Okay. Yep, you're going to be amazing. Believe that. Listen, Sylvia is right. And let me tell you something. And my subject for today was supposed to be something completely different, but we ended up talking about schedule. If you are at a point where you feel like you are failing in homeschooling, take heart in knowing that at some point we all feel like that we are failing. But also take heart in the fact that you can do this, okay? You can do this homeschooling thing. You got your girl here to help you in these homeschool streets. But you can do this thing. And also remember too that most things, and I will say this for me, okay, I will speak for me. When I was homeschooling, when I began to homeschool, most things came kind of easy to me. And when homeschooling came around, it was difficult and we weren't immediately successful. Like it was a struggle. And it was difficult because I thought I was failing because it was a struggle. But there was a bunch that went along with that struggle. Okay. It meant me changing my mind, me figuring out what I wanted, me remembering what I wanted. Just there's a bunch that goes along with homeschooling. So don't feel alone. Don't feel like you're failing. We all have a moment where we're like, are we really doing enough? And this is what I tell you in that space. Okay. If you're feeling like, are you really doing enough? Are you really doing enough to educate your children? Okay. Pause. Okay. Remember your goals. We talked about this before. Post your goals somewhere. Post it on your fridge. Post, and I say goals, that's incorrect. Post your reason why, either on your desk up here, and I have a little thing that I post stuff on, or your refrigerator somewhere you can see it. So when times get hard, you remember why you decided to homeschool. And remember in those things, in the midst of all of the shenanigans and the foolishness, that it's going to get better. There are brand new mercies every single day. Yes, there are days that are sucking. I'm going to be very honest with you. Today was a great day. We finished by 12, right? But tomorrow may be a whole nother story. Same curriculum, same schedule. Everything's already printed, ready for them to go. It may not work that way. Okay. So don't be so hard on yourself. Join a community of homeschool moms that can help you, uplift you, that can see you from the outside looking in and say, hey, why don't you try this? This may work. Give you some different options. A good community to join, if you don't want to join a local community, is my Facebook group. It's completely free. It's called Homeschooling with Shaun the Guru. All you got to do is join. That's it. Answer the questions and we will add you to the group. Okay. But find you a support system to be on this homeschool road. Like find you somebody. Okay. Cindy says homeschooling in the evenings after work, 6 to 8 has been working out fabulously. Thank you you're welcome. So y'all, Cindy came a couple weeks ago. I think the week that I found out I had COVID. She works a full-time job and works, if I remember correctly, the third shift, right? Like the late shift, first shift. I'm thinking of officers. She works that early in the morning shift and was getting home exhausted and doing entirely too much, but she got it figured out. I'm so glad, Cindy. I appreciate it. I'm so glad. Thank you for that. 8 is around 30. Thank you, Kristen, because I don't keep up with none of that. I don't start keeping up with it until, like, I had to think, like, my 15-year-old he's a freshman, right? What? How old was I when I was 15? Oh, I was a freshman. Yeah, he's a freshman. That's how I had to do that. I know I feel like that now. We all do, you guys. We all do. We all do. We all have that moment where we think we're failing. I promise you, you are not failing. Okay. And if you are failing, let's just say, for instance, you are not doing enough. If you take that time and that moment in that space to find out what you feel like you're missing or what you think you should have, you'll be okay. Okay. Just don't sit in that feeling of failure. Figure out what the issue is, what the problem is. Okay. Let's see. Portia said, I just told someone many schools are failing and there is no guarantee of success in traditional schools, which helps me when I have that fear. Let me be honest with you, okay? Somebody said something to me. I don't know where I saw it. I said somebody said, but I read it. Somebody said flat out, and I want to make sure I'm saying it right, that the public school system, the traditional school system, the way the traditional school system is an experiment. Okay. It hasn't necessarily been proven that it worked, but it's been the only option for years, right? Because for years, homeschoolers were considered a very specific type of people, and y'all know what I mean. Okay. But this person said flat out that the traditional school system is an experiment, and that the only reason why people think that it's the only way to educate your children is because it's the only thing that's been out there, really. Right? So there's homeschooling and then there's traditional school system. Well, homeschoolers are weird, and we don't know if we necessarily want them to do, but what we do know is that the people who have gone to school, gone to college, and all this, they're working, doing all that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 9 times out of 10, though, the things that they learned in the traditional school system didn't help them to necessarily be successful as an adult in the world right now. It was that other experience, okay? It was that other stuff that shaped them. Okay, not necessarily the education of the traditional school system. Just putting that out there. Okay, that's something to think about. Okay, let's see. Jaquithia says, yes, it can be overwhelming, but there's always remember your why. Yeah, exactly. Remember your why. Oh, I made it up. Cindy, she corrected me. I'm sorry. Okay, so her shift was 5:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lord have mercy. I don't know how you're doing it, but she's making it happen, right? So she's working 5:30 to 2 p.m. 5:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then she's homeschooling after, doing a specific schedule that works for her family. Okay. Hester says, happy for you, Cindy. That's great. Let's see. I know in Louisiana it is very much so. What we talking about? What I say, Ann? Tell me what we talking about here. I don't remember. Okay. All right, guys, it is 5:45. I'm going to jump off of here because I have to get dinner started before our masterminds today. If you're unfamiliar with our masterminds, it is a group coaching session that we have every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. A group of us get together and we do homeschool coaching. All right. Now, listen, do me a favor. Everybody in here, do me a favor. Either throw me some hearts, right? Throw me some hearts, tag some people in here, share, thumbs up, like, comment, do whatever it is that you can do to help me, guys. Every single time that you do that, it blesses me. It furthers my goal. You guys, I told you I've got this God-sized goal, right? And all you have to do is participate, and it's simple, right? Just by sharing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. Okay, hearts, all of that stuff works for me. Portia says, how do you join? Okay, so Portia, what you're going to do, let me get the link. You're going to go to my website, which is shaunthehomeschoolguru.com. And if you click the group coaching session, it'll take you right to it. Let me see. Let me get you there real quick. Let me get that link for you. But basically, we meet every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we discuss all things homeschool. They can ask me any and everything homeschool related. We meet all the time, child. So if you go down, let me do this. Bear with me because I just went the wrong link and I should have had it prepared. I'm so professional. Let's see. So you go to my website and you click that computer, seriously. You click the homeschool coaching tab, and there is an option in there for the group coaching sessions. Okay. I just put my website in there for you. Okay. All right, shaunthehomeschoolguru.com. And if you click the coaching tab, the homeschool coaching tab, it'll give you the different options. So there's a 15-minute free consultation. There's a one-on-one session. There is the group coaching that we're talking about now, which is the best value. And then we have the free Facebook group that you can join. If you're going to request to join that, all I ask is that you answer the questions, because I will deny you or my admins will deny you immediately if you do not answer those questions. Okay. So I'm going to jump off of here. This has been great. It's been a great Monday. I'll be back here on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time to answer your homeschooling questions. Please, 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 guys, do me a favor. Help you grow out in these homeschool streets. Share, like, comment, thumbs up, hearts, do whatever you can to further what I'm trying to do. Okay. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful Monday. I'm going to go be a mother or whatever. I'm going to go cook dinner and make sure it's ready for the kids for later on before my mastermind. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful, blessed evening, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Until later, guys. Bye, guys. You're welcome.